1, 2, 3.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Ladybug and I'm here with another tutorial on this look. I just finished this look. It was fun to create. I love this look. If you guys would like to see how I created this look, how I achieved this look, keep watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All your likes, your comments, and your subscribes. I will see you guys later in the next episode. Peace. They want to show y'all some new products that I purchased. I'm not supposed to be buying stuff, but I'm going on vacation tomorrow, so I had to. Anyway, yeah. So this came in a 2-pack. I got some more wipes. I've seen good things about this mascara, so I wanted to try this as well. I've actually tried it the other day, and let me just say, okay, I think I only had 2 other mascaras that I really liked, that actually made a difference. So yeah, I like this. I felt like I needed some type of finishing powder or whatever, so like something that was pressed instead of loose powder. So I got the Maybelline Fit Me in my shade, which is caramel, golden caramel. 332 golden caramel. I've been wanting a peachy palette, eyeshadow palette, so I got this. All these products are from Dollar General. Yeah, well, the ones that I showed you so far are from Dollar General. So cute, so pretty. Honestly, I probably got these shades in a different palette, but whatever. So yes, I needed more brushes as well, so I got the Studio Selection Total Face brush, which this is probably going to mostly be used for powder and dusting away instead of this one, which is what I usually use. This is pretty old, and when I use it, sometimes I see like little hairs coming out of it, like bristles and stuff. So this is probably going to go in the trash, but I feel like this would replace this one. So now I also have from the same company a foundation brush. This is from Dollar General as well. I just want to try it out. I don't know if I'm going to try it today, because since I couldn't wait for my other brushes to come from Amazon, that's why I got those 2 brushes. But this is the company that I got my brushes from on Amazon. It's a 3-piece brush set. They are white. I opened it up the other day. Today I'm just going to do an actual unboxing, show you guys how they come. Just take them out, because this is going in the trash. I don't need this anymore. These little net thingies are to keep the shape of the brush, I believe. Also, I've been wanting to try some cream blush, so I got some Cheeky in the shade Nude Burn. I tried it on my hand. It is very pretty, very buildable. And last but not least, I got some matte lipsticks, liquid matte lipsticks from Amazon. They came with 6. I took the 3 out that I wanted to use for vacation, but I swatched them on my hand the first day I got them, and I'm gonna add that video to, well, I'm gonna add that clip to this. I'm probably gonna put it like right here since there's space there. But these are the 3 colors that I probably won't use this weekend. And these are the other 3 colors or shades or whatever. They don't have names, they just have numbers. Now I'm gonna get started with my makeup. See y'all on the flip side. Okay, so I just realized that I didn't even take these brushes out of the packaging, so that's what I'm going to do real quick. This is the foundation brush. Now, the way it was in the package, it looks flat, but it's supposed to be round, so it was in there for a while. It feels pretty good. And this other one, this total face brush, is also flat because of how it was in the... I actually think it's supposed to be flat, but because look at it. This is soft as well, but I feel like this is more for powder. It's really, really loose. As you can see, the bristles come apart very easily. So yeah, it's really soft though, and that's what I like about brushes when they're soft. But softness doesn't necessarily mean good quality. And expensive doesn't necessarily mean good quality either. So the more you spend, I mean, you do get your bang for your buck sometimes, but also you get what you buy or you get what you pay for. So I think this is good for dusting away, honestly. Or maybe even highlighter. Maybe even highlighter, but we'll see. I will be trying to use all 5 of these brushes today. So yeah, I just wanted to come back and let you guys know that, you know, I forgot to open these 2. The black ones from Dollar General, and that's what I want to do real quick. Time to get started. I'm excited, y'all. Okay, so first I'm starting off by plucking some of the extra hairs on my brows that I do not want. Then I'm going to go in and define a little more and get rid of all the extra hairs using my eyebrow razor. Now I'm just going to wipe away all the loose hairs that I took off, and I'm going in with the Ordinary caffeine solution, and I'm going to rub that all over my face and down my neck. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the Studio Makeup Hyaluronic Acid Serum. And I'm going to do the same thing using the Ordinary Moisturizing Cream. And as you know, I have to go in with my Ultra Moisturizing Cocoa Butter Stick. And now I'm going to set my face. Yes, you heard right. I'm going to set my face using that e.l.f. setting spray. This is the Matte Magic Mist set. Using my fan to help it dry slightly, and then I'm going to take my damp beauty blender and press the rest of the setting spray into my skin in order to help it be more smooth. Now I'm using the e.l.f. Poreless Primer, and I'm going to put that all over my face. Using the same brand of cocoa butter, I'm going to use their chapstick and moisturize my lips. Going in with Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Dark Brown. I'm going to get my brows done. You guys already know how I do my brows. But first I'm going to set and shape my brows the way I want with my spoolie and a little bit of setting spray. I tend to make my brows more thick at the end and thinner in the front, so that way it'll create an ombre effect, which is what I like. And sometimes I'll create little thin hairs in the front as well. Using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn, I'm going to carve out my brows and just define the shape of them even more. And now I'm going to take a Real Techniques brush and blend that all in with the rest of my face. Now using an eyebrow base by, I believe it's pronounced Kaida, maybe even Kita, I don't know, I'm sorry, in the shade number 2 or dark. And I'm going to set my eyebrow base with this. I believe I do this twice. Also, I'm using a different brush to set the base as well. This brush is more flat, but also quite fluffy. Now I'm going to take my beauty blender and help blend out that base even more to create a more even shade on my lid. Now I'm going to take a couple of shades from the LA Colors Peach Fizz palette and I'm going to just create a base shade first. Going in with a more orangey and light shade, I'm going to go right into my crease and directly under the shade that I just did. For a little more depth, I'm going to go in with a darker orangey shade and go all over my lid with that. Using the Wanderess Escape palette, I'm going to go in with that Overnight shade. That's a pretty warm brown shade, and I'm going to create even more depth in the outer corner of my lids. I also apply this shade a little bit in my crease and almost halfway across my lid. Going back into the Peach Fizz eyeshadow palette, I am going to take my finger and use that shimmery orange shade on the inner corner, well, not the direct inner corner, but just the other half of my lid, and I'm going to layer that up until I'm satisfied with what it looks like. Taking a makeup wipe, I'm just going to wipe away any excess powder or eyeshadow that I do not want. Now I'm going to take the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Toffee Caramel. This is the matte poreless foundation, and the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation in caramel, and I'm going to mix these two together. I'm putting the toffee shade on the outside and the other shade on the places where I would usually highlight my face because that shade is slightly lighter. I am using a foundation brush to blend this all in, including down my neck. I really enjoyed the way the brush blended out my foundation. I will definitely be using it again. I'm going to add a little more Photo Focus foundation and blend out a little more under my eyes. Taking my damp beauty blender, I'm going to pounce this all over my face and just press it in to make sure it's blended out even more. Now taking the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer in the shade 13, I'm going to highlight my face like normal. I'm using the damp beauty blender to blend it out. I am using the back of the beauty blender on the bigger sides, or the sides with more area, and the smaller pointy side under my eyes because that part is smaller. You can get deeper into the creases on that side, in my opinion. Now I'm just going to set everything with the e.l.f. HD powder. Now I'm going to take the Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder in the shade 332 or Golden Caramel, and I'm going to set the rest of my face with a fluffy powder brush. Taking the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop in the shade Deep, this is their concealer, I'm going to contour my face, and I'm going to use a small blending brush to blend everything out. Recently, I watched a tutorial where instead of contouring on the crease of your cheekbones, you contour a little higher on your cheekbones. Oopsie. Anyway, I'm contouring a little higher than I normally would, and it is supposed to create a higher cheekbone effect. So that is what I'm going for, and we shall see how this turns out in the end. Just gonna take a wipe and just try to get the rest of that off my cheek, and then I'm gonna take the rest of that foundation that was left over on that brush and just blend it out. And I'm also gonna set it again with that same Maybelline Fit Me powder that I used earlier.
Look to the light and I told him, who pulled over that ass too fast?
Now it's time to contour my nose. I did not add any extra contour cream. I just used the leftover that was on the brush already. Going back into that same palette from earlier, using that overnight shade, I'm going to take a flat fluffy brush and set my entire contour. Taking a new flat fluffy brush, I'm going to blend away any harsh lines that I see between the contour and the concealer. Now I'm going to set my face again with more HD powder just to create more of a transition and make my face look more smooth and blended out. Dusting that excess powder away, I'm going to use that same brush from earlier. Now I'm just checking to make sure everything looks good to me. Of course, you have to check throughout the makeup. And now I'm going to set my face with that same setting powder from earlier and slightly dry my face with my fan. Next, I'm going to take my damp beauty blender and blend the setting spray into my face to make my face more smooth and blend it out. Now I'm going to create a more dramatic eyeshadow with the leftover orange shade from earlier and bring my eyeshadow out a little more. Going back into that same overnight shade, I'm going to do the same thing to make my eyeshadow more even and blend it out. Using that same transition shade from earlier, I'm just going to blend out my eyeshadow even more. And now with the OPV Beauty Spotlight palette, I'm going to use the shade Exhibit to highlight the inner corners of my eyes using a small rounded brush. And now I'm going to add my lashes. These are the Kiss Mink Effect in Belle. I love the way they get short and then long and flare out on the ends. These are my favorite types of lashes. I like to remove my lashes with tweezers, whether I have nails on or not. And I like to do it a little bit at a time in order to help them keep their shape and not rip them or ruin them. And the lashes are kind of always too long for me, so I always cut it. Well, it depends on the lash, but this time I'm cutting the first 2 sections of hairs on the lash from the inner corner. And then there's also that tab on the end. I'm going to cut that off as well, just to make it look as natural as possible. And I'm going to go in and coat my upper lash line with the Duo Rosewater Lash Glue. And I'm going to take my mascara from the Sky High Maybelline. This is the black shade, and I'm going to coat 1 or 2, not so generous, just a little bit on my lashes. Taking my spoolie to get rid of any excess glue and to separate my lashes. I am going to now apply my lashes. You guys already know how I apply my lashes. If you've been watching, this is what I do. Here you go. Tutorial coming soon. Now I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Precise All Day Matte Eyeliner, and I think it's called Tight Line. I'm going to tight line my lash line, which I believe is just basically filling in the empty spaces where you can see skin. And I'm going to finish off my brows again because I felt like they were not dark enough from using the powder. Now using the Maybelline Cheek Heat in the shade Nude Burn, I am going to create a blush. The mistake I made on this was adding it directly to my face and blending it out with my finger. Now, the finger part is not too bad, blending it out like that, but I shouldn't have put it straight on my face because now, as you can see, I created a line from the powder that I had from my contour set and the cream from the Cheek Heat. That was a bad idea. I should have blended it out first and then used the rest on my face. But I've learned that lesson and I still made it look cute. So yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. Now I'm taking an empty brush that I used to blend out earlier, and I'm just going to blend out any more harsh lines that I see on my blush, and I'm going to try to get that line off as well. Going back into the Peach Fizz, I'm going to take a random amount of shades and set my blush. Like I said, I wanted to go for a peachy / orangey springy look, so that's why I'm using the orange this time. I've never used the orange to set my blush, but I like it. I'm going back in to the Wanderesque Escape palette, and I'm going to use the shade Daydream to highlight my entire face. Now I'm going to take that same blending brush that I used from earlier, and I'm just going to blend out any harsh lines that I see between my highlight and my contour. and I want the look to look sort of natural without too much highlight, because sometimes I feel like I can put too much. So I'm just blending it out a little bit. And now I'm going to go back into that dark brown overnight shade and create more depth under my eyes on my bottom waterline. Going into that medium orange shade, I'm gonna go and blend that shade in next to the brown shade. And now to connect it to that inner corner highlight, I'm going to use that same orange shimmery shade from earlier to complete the under eye. Now I'm using the Sky High mascara again to get my bottom lashes. I don't normally do my bottom lashes, but I like this formula and they make them look so good. As you can see, I love it. So yeah, that's why I decided to do my bottom lashes in this tutorial. Setting my face again and drying it. I believe I do this twice or a couple of times. Now taking this Dragon Beauty lip liner. I think this is the Lip Job liner. I'm not sure what shade that is, but I'll try to find it and link it down below. I got it in a BoxyCharm subscription. I'm just gonna line my lips and fill them in with that. Taking what concealer is left over on my brush, I'm going to blend out and fill in the rest of my lips with that. Now I'm going to use that same overnight shade and take a eyeliner brush and outline my lips with that. I'm going to take this lip quip oil from Item in the shade Come Through, and I'm going to coat my lips with this. And now it's time for some slow-mos and me admiring my work. I hope you guys like this look. I hope you guys enjoyed my tutorial. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. Show your girl some love. Don't forget, I'm still doing a giveaway when I reach 1,000 subscribers, so look out for that. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support and your patience. I really appreciate it. Again, I love you guys, and I will see y'all in the next episode.
Bye bye, people. Share and subscribe.
Yes, like like and comment and subscribe. Bye.